Hi, this is Rachelle with Journalized Journey, and in a previous video, I made this no-sew journal using unwanted scrapbook paper, 12 by 12 scrapbook. Well, it's actually cardstock, but they call it all scrapbook paper. And I used some happy scraps, which were just some sprayed, cut off scrap pieces of paper from cutting inserts. And I used those happy scraps and a couple of pieces of chipboard to make the cover. Okay. So what I did was use the white side of the scrapbook paper to make the book and glue everything together. I'll put a link to the video in the description box below so you can check that out. This is what the spine looks like. I still haven't decided if I want to cover the spine. I don't think it's necessary, but I could. But you can look at the spine there and see some of the different colors of the scrapbook paper. Okay. Since I created this, I thought, well, could I do another no-sew version using a perfect binding method using glue? Something I've done before with index cards. So I'm going to try it with these. Now I've already cut my paper and pulled the paper. Let's see. Let's make sure it's going in the right direction. This time I'm not going to really worry about what side is what because all the sides will show. So whereas with this version, with the Happy Scraps version, the pages are glued back to back. So you can kind of see that here where I've glued the pages together. Again, the video will be linked. Here, there will be no gluing the pages together. We will be gluing the spines. So all of the pattern paper elements will show. Now I did fold some inside out, like with the white inside. Then I folded some with the pattern inside. So I kind of tried to switch it up. Also, again, I did 12 pages. However, in this instance, I don't want one of my pages to end up being an end paper like it did with Happy Scraps book. I guess that's the name of this book now. So what happens is doing it this way, whatever your first page is, that's going to glue to your cover. Also, I think I need a little thicker chipboard for the cover because I don't like that I've got this rounding here, and when I try to straighten it up, it puckers the paper. I could probably resolve this by putting this under something heavy, and I'm going to try it and see if that helps with the warping. I just don't really care for that warping. Okay, so this is the paper pad that I pulled this from. This is Color Splash. It's Recollection, so that's Michael's, and it is from 2015. So very old, and I don't have a whole lot left in here. But what I thought I would do, instead of this ending up as end paper, I'm going to use some of the paper that's left in here as end papers instead. So maybe something like this as an end paper. Yeah, because I don't think I would use any of these cut aparts. I was trying not to use those, but we'll see. Like this has a graph on it, and I'm pretty sure I could use that somewhere else, but we'll see. But yeah, I've almost busted or used up this paper pad. That's a good almost for me anyway. Okay. These are papers that I was going to either I tried to sell them, no one was interested. I could just give them to Goodwill, but then I thought, well, this is basically just cardstock, so I can actually use it. So I'm going to put it to use as much as I can. I am going to attempt to bind these pages with a no-sew method. I have these large clips that I have from Dollar Tree, and I would really like to put one in the middle, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. I think these come two per pack. Then I need something to hold this in place. Well, let me do this first. Make sure I got everything as even as possible. I know I have some more of these larger clips. Let me see. Can I use the smaller clips for this? I definitely can. Okay. So let's see. Use the smaller clips at the top. use the larger clips as my base to hold the paper in place. Okay, there we go. Kind of. I still need something to grip this area. I have clips clipped kind of everywhere. What I'm actually going to end up doing is putting some heavy books on this center part to hold it in place while I paint the glue on. So I'm going to start painting the glue on. I am using PVA glue. All right, I'm just going to use a dry brush and lightly coat. See, it's not tight there. Try not to get glue everywhere. Yeah, I'm going to have to go ahead and press this while I put the glue on. So let me get a book because this isn't going to work well enough. So technically, there's something called a book press, I think it is, that would normally do this. I guess I can take these off. I don't need them. That's compressing it a little bit. You got kind of a look at what I was doing. It's going to be hard to show you this in this way. I'm going to take these clamps off and I'll put them back on after I do the glue. So I have the book block sticking out just a little bit, and then I'm going to paint the edge. Okay, I need to still set something on top of this that's heavy. And I'm going to let that dry for a while. And then I'm going to come back and put another coat, and then I'll be back. All right, so while that was drying, I went ahead and cut down some board that I'm going to be using for my covers. Let's remove the books. I hope this is dry. So it's still a little tacky. I'm thinking maybe I should put another coat. Let's put another coat and let it dry a little bit more. I'm going to use my spatula brush just because I already took my other, I think I don't need this on here anymore. I already put my other brush into soap and I don't want to have to wash it again. Do a little bit more so this way you get to see what I'm actually doing. This definitely would work better with a bristled brush to start, but I think after I got it started to add my final coat, it's fine to use the silicone brush. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside and let it dry again. All right, so let's work on the covers. I think I've decided to use this paper here. I could go mixed media for the cover, and I still can, but this will be my base paper. It does have some text on it, but I'm going to try and work around that. Why is that so difficult? Okay, so since my covers are 6x9, I need to add 2 inches to it to each side, or an inch all the way around, 8x11. All right, so I'm going to trim this down to 8x11. Okay, so here we go. I hate that so much of the pink is going to be cut off, but it can't be helped. Now, my experience with this paper before, with this chipboard, is that the color would bleed through. I am hoping that's not going to be an issue this time around. But what I'm going to do, I think, is use Yes Paste on it and hope for the best. Now, depending on your board, you can use whatever adhesive you would like. It's just that this board gave me some problems. It's pretty old too. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Let's move this over out of the way. I think this is some of the Timu tape that I just recently got. I'm going to give this a try only because I also use a white glue when I do this. So if the tape isn't good, the glue will pick up slack. So let's test it out. So there we go. We got our two covers, nice and neat. This is the book. It's still a little wet. So again, while that's drying, I'm going to figure out what I want to use for my end papers. And I'm going to go ahead and cut those down to 6x9 as well, or 12x9. Okay, we are back. This is pretty dry. It's still tacky, but I'm in a humid climate, so it might take days for it to be completely tack free. But while I was waiting on that to mostly dry, so while I was waiting on that to dry, I cut down 2 more pieces of scrapbook paper, the 12 by 12. I cut this down to 9 by 12, folded it in half, and I am going to use these pieces as my end papers. So they're gonna go on like this. And it's gonna be like those funny little pages that have a little bit of glue attached there, I think. Then I'm also thinking I want to use a cheesecloth on the binding to further secure it. You can use tape. I've seen people use duct tape. You can actually leave it as is. This is optional. But I like the cheesecake look because it gives me that junk journal feel. Did I say cheesecake? The cheesecloth look because it gives me that junk journal feel. So it would go a little something like that. And I want the little fuzzies to hang out of the ends. Um, and I probably should have added these pieces prior, but I didn't think of it. I don't know. I'm not used to doing this in this way. So I think I'm going to go ahead and attach my end papers. Let's get my wax paper back. I want the purple one on the front, the orange version on the back, and let's clip everything together. May have to get my books back in on this eventually. Got a spatula again. Trying to think, do I put the cheesecloth first or after? I think I do it after. I went ahead and put my ribbon on and added the glue to the cheesecloth. I think I did that right in the right order. So this is gonna go like this. So the next step is adding my covers. This is still a little tacky, but it should be okay. So this is gonna go on here. As you can see, I'm using the fabric tack to attach my covers, and I feel like I should have made my covers maybe a little bit bigger, but I'm just gonna make it work like this. I don't know how I got bigger covers. Maybe I did upsize maybe an eighth of an inch on the other cover, and that's the difference. I'm not sure. Meaning, when I say the other cover, I mean the Happy Scraps cover. But should be fine. Just need to make sure I get this lined up proper as best as I can, as centered as I can before the glue catches. Now I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't have done 2 layers of the cheesecloth. Maybe I should have done 1, and I might have made the wrong choice in ribbon. This was kind of like an impulse decision that maybe once it is flattened, it will do better. I need to let this dry. Is it nice and straight? Definitely should have made my cover a little longer. The width it's fine. You got a little lip there, but the height is concerning. I think we'll be okay. All right, so let's put something on here to hold it in place to continue to dry and see what we have once all the glue is settled. So here we go with the big heavy books again. And I'm gonna let that set. And once that's done, I'll be back. I am back and everything is very dry. I don't like the way this is looking, so I'm definitely going to end up covering it, but we will do that in a separate video, I think, because I want this to cure a little bit more while I consider what I'm covering it with. Probably some lace, so that will be a quick short video. But I did add a ribbon clamp to this so I can add charms to the bookmark. It's still got a little crinkle to it. I might have to hit it with some steam to get the folds out of it, but this is what it looks like. So these are the end papers. And then these are the pages. Yeah, I may have gone a little overboard with the glue, so don't do like I did and be excessive with the glue on the binding. I'm actually working on another binding similar to this. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss upcoming videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll holler at y'all next time. Bye.